Awesome, awesome. All right. Well, thank you everyone for being here. So this is our fourth workshop of the week. We do have one more workshop tomorrow. And as a reminder, that's all of the workshops for the whole time. That does not mean that we are done with our actual challenge. So that is one big change that we've made this time around. Instead of doing the 5 days of tasks and then having like 2 bonus days, because not a lot of people did them. We're going to actually do all of the tasks all 7 days. Now, I acknowledge out loud Saturday is Valentine's Day. I get it's probably going to be a little bit harder to maybe go to sleep on time or like do a couple of the other things, but do what you can. So we'll take everything we can get. So as a reminder, the tasks are all the way through Sunday. Monday, all the way through Sunday, you're going to continue to do the tasks. You're going to continue to report your tasks. But then tomorrow will be the very last workshop officially. And then what we wanted to do is sometimes having the workshops on the weekends, or not the workshops, excuse me, the awards on the weekends. It's been a little bit tough to get people to come because people are busy on Saturdays, they have church Sunday morning, stuff like that. So what we're going to do is, because we're putting the tasks through Sunday, we're actually going to have our official award ceremony on Monday night instead. So fingers crossed that allows more people to be able to come. That's always a fun social one because we come together and play games and do all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. We'll talk about it more tomorrow, but I did want to at least put that out there so that it's on everyone's radar. Pass through Sunday, award ceremony on a Monday. So today we are again working through our 6 pillars of health. We did our mindset, our fitness, nutrition. We are going into sleep today. And Ray, oh, Caitlin's here. Ray is going to be leading this one as well. So thank you, Ray. Whenever you're ready, take it away.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you guys for showing up. So, hey, Caitlin, this is our sleep workshop. It is one of our 6 pillars of health, and yep, it is on sleep. So, we'll be talking about sleep and how we don't need any perfect sleep routine, right? We're just gonna learn how to stick with rest over sleep in a way that feels practical, consistent, and sustainable, right? Our PCS method, practical, consistent, and sustainable. So, couple open-ended questions here. Um, when you guys hear the word rest or sleep, what what's the first thing that comes up for
Naughty
Naps.
nut. We're on the same page.
you? Okay. And so does rest to you, does it feel supportive, uncomfortable, earned, or does it feel optional?
For me, rest is different than sleep. And I know that they shouldn't necessarily be, they can go hand in hand. Rest is harder for me. It's more uncomfortable for me than sleep. I love sleep. Like that's my jam. But being like doing nothing or taking time off is a lot harder for sure.
Yeah. So there's a difference between sleep and rest. Where you sleep is more like something that happens at night. You go in bed, you go to sleep. Rest for you is something that you take a step back and relax a little bit and not do so much, right?
Mhm.
Anybody
Mine's the
else?
opposite.
Mm.
Sleeping is hard for me.
Mm,
Resting, taking naps, that's easy.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was
Michelle, anything?
gonna so, somewhat agree with Caitlin that
Mhm.
by resting, I would say um, I think I'm able to, you know, take it easy sometimes, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I, I mean, obviously, I like the feeling of sleep if I get enough,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I just have a terrible time making myself go to bed, even if I, have all the opportunity to do
Yeah,
so. I don't really know why. I think it's mindset of I can do one more thing or can watch one more show.
yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah, so it's the thing for you where you feel rest and sleep are two separate things, right? Okay. And for you, Michelle?
I would
I
say
would
I'm in
say
the
I'm in the
same.
same.
Can you even? I would say
I
I'm
would
in the
say I'm in the
same
same.
in that regard because, for me, I get home from work and then I rest, and then switching from that to sleep is, there's a distinct line between it. And when I'm resting, that's like, I know Michelle and I talked about this before, but that's like the me time. That's the time when I can do things that I want to do. And that's one reason that I end up staying up really late. Is because it's like, I forget the exact phrase of it, but it's basically you're stealing time from yourself that, like, I should be going to sleep because I have to wake up in however many hours I have to wake up at that point. Uh, but if this is the only time, as I tell myself, this is the only time I can get for myself, and I can't do this later because I'll be busy later. And yeah, that's what
Okay.
it's called, revenge bedtime procrastination. Yes.
Yeah, so we're all kind of saying something similar. So a lot of us, many of us were conditioned to value over or productivity over recovery, sleep, rest, right? So sleep becomes something that we sacrifice instead of get to do. And when we rest, guilt starts to come up, or when we sleep, guilt starts to come up, starts to surface because it feels like we're unproductive, we're not producing, we're not creating, right? So when when rest and sleep are not aligned with our priorities, it starts to feel optional instead of foundation, right? And so what I mean by that is if we say if we say health is our priority, but our nightly behaviors prioritize like scrolling on our phone, watching shows, working, or staying productive, then sleep kind of becomes something that we do if there's time left, if we have enough time. And it starts to get to that point where it's like, oh wait, I have to go to sleep because I have to wake up tomorrow early at whatever time and I have work. So yeah, it starts to feel optional. Foundational meaning that Foundational means something everything else is built on, right? So our sleep is our foundation. And so if we get the correct sleep, if we get the correct amount of sleep and our quality of sleep is good, then that is our foundation to be able to do tasks the next day, to be able to wake up feeling good, to be able to go to work energized and have energy throughout the day. So if rest isn't or sleep isn't treated as one of our priorities, it gets pushed to the side and it feels like an option, going back to what we were just saying. So when you guys go to sleep, what usually competes with that? So what usually competes with sleep in your life? Or when you do stay up later than you had planned to, what are you choosing to do instead?
For me, it's video games.
Mhm.
Um, and some of it is a social thing. Like I have coworkers with the same schedule that I do that I play. Um, we just started a new Minecraft game,
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and so after work, we all hop on at the same time so we can play together. But then it's like, oh, look at the time. I said I was going to be in bed 10 minutes ago. Yeah.
mhm, mhm,
Um, and it's that, or it's the mobile games on my phone, where it's just,
mhm.
the scrolling, everything like that.
Yeah. So it's not like you're choosing to stay up late. It kind of just happens because you're doing other things and time, like you said, time just goes by and you look at the time, you're like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Other times it's
Mhm.
like I keep looking at the clock and I'm like, oh, I should go to bed in 30 minutes. Oh, I should go to bed
Yeah.
in 20 minutes. I
Yeah.
should have gone to bed 15 minutes ago. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
even if I am keeping conscious of it, I'm still like, but I'm having fun.
Yeah. Just one more level, one more show. So if anybody else would like to answer, what usually competes with your sleep? And when you do stay up later than usual or later than you had planned, what are you choosing instead?
For me, I'm choosing quality time. I'm choosing this time with Michelle, to be in the same room or to do something together or to
Mhm.
game together on occasion,
Yeah,
I'm
I like that.
choosing the quality time with her because she spends all day at work.
Mhm.
over going to bed early or at a reasonable time. So,
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and that's a good point that you bring up because yes, some of us are working full time, going to school. Some of us are pretty busy in our lives, so the time that we have at home with our family or whoever, we want to make sure we're there and present in that moment with them. I like that answer. Michelle, Nathan?
I guess for me, what maybe sometimes scrolling, but I think for me, what competes is I'm getting better,
Mhm.
but I feel like I need like at least 15 minutes to an hour to like relax and shut my brain off.
Okay.
But what, usually for me, it's watching a YouTube video or maybe a show. But what throws me off is like I push that off too late. So maybe I'm washing dishes or
Mhm.
I don't know, whatever. Sometimes productive, sometimes not. But I don't get myself ready in enough time to start relaxing and then
Yeah,
sleep.
yeah. Okay. Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, mine's similar to Nathan's. We have like a sequence. I work and then we eat and watch a show and then we usually like get ready for bed and stuff like that. So mine is typically work and it depends on how effective or productive my day was and how big my list is. And so that's usually what gets pushed is our sequence doesn't start until after I'm done working. And sometimes
Yeah.
I have to finish something or I feel like I
Mhm.
have to finish something asterisk. And so then it kind of pushes everything else.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So prioritizing. Yeah, I would say I'm the same way, like especially with homework in school. Um, I tend to wait, like for bigger projects, I like to wait till the last minute because I don't want to do it. And then I end up staying really late at night until like 1 in the morning to finish this paper or whatever project I had to do. So yeah,
And my excuse is that my brain works better at night, which may or may not be true, but it doesn't matter. I need to be an adult and do it earlier, like. So
yeah,
that's what
and
we're working on.
yeah, that's the thing. Everybody's different, right? Some people prefer to do things in the morning, some people prefer to do things at night, right? So sleep is not just about getting more hours, right? So if we can all just go ahead and list some, just a few words. What else does sleep directly support?
It helps you focus when you get enough sleep. So your
Right?
mental capacity for
Yes, the mental capacity.
it helps your immune system recover.
Yes, good.
My energy. I
Mm,
will either procrastinate and skip my workout the next day, or it will be a totally crappy workout if I haven't slept enough.
yeah. So so yeah, exactly. So it's um, sleep supports muscle repair, physical recovery, hormone regulation, stress management, emotional regulation, focus, decision making, energy, hunger cues, and those are just some. Okay, that's not all. So without sleep, like Caitlin was just saying, our capacity starts to shrink, and when our capacity starts to shrink, consistency across every other pillar also becomes harder. So with nutrition, fitness, mindset, and stress, right? So this PCS, this PCS method that we have been talking about, practical, consistent, sustainable, we need to, it'd be a great tool to introduce this PCS method into some of our anchors for sleep routine, right? So practical being, is this realistic for me? Is this realistic for me in the season? Consistent, can this happen most nights? Am I able to do this most nights? And sustainable, is this something that I'm able to support long term and that I'm able to, and I know that I'm able to do this more of in the future. So another round robin question. How does your body respond when you don't get enough sleep or your quality of sleep is low? And do you notice first, do you first notice it physically, mentally, emotionally?
it messes with me all three, all of the above. Um, I used to work morning shifts,
Mm-hmm.
and like there were some days where, like a few years ago, when I did not have as healthy habits, I would be going to bed at like 9 and waking up at 2, so that's not enough sleep. Um,
Mhm.
and then I drive into work, which is a horrible idea, driving when you're sleepy.
Mhm.
So I would be tired on my way in. I would be very slow in my responses. Like people would be talking to me, and I would have to like really think about it.
Mhm.
Um, I I'm trying to think of like emotionally, as I was just always very low emotionally. Like I didn't have
Yeah.
a lot of of in any of my feelings. Uh,
Mhm.
so it would be bad, and that would be like 4 hours of sleep. So very not
Mhm.
sustainable.
Yeah.
As soon as I went to the second shift and actually got sleep hours, I was like, oh, I'm a different person. this is
Yeah. And
this is
how
real.
how quick or how soon did you notice that difference?
Um, After like a week,
Yeah.
it was not long.
Mhm.
I was very more talkative to people. Um, like I would be more engaging in conversations. Usually I'm just like there. Uh, and to me, I described it as like when I was morning shift, I was a zombie. I just like
Mhm.
went through the motions.
Yeah.
Um, but now that when I get enough sleep, I am actually engaged. I am,
Mhm.
proactive. I'm actually I work better. So
Yes.
it improved a lot.
Thank you. Anybody else? So how does your body respond when your sleep is low, your quality of sleep is low? Does it impact first your physical, mental, or emotion?
For me, it's emotional. I get irritable,
Mhm.
really, really irritated very easily, and I don't resolve issues very well.
Mhm. Thank you. Nathan, Michelle?
I would say for me, there I can usually offset any like physical feelings with caffeine fairly easily, but the two things I do notice is focus. Like I think Michelle said earlier, like I think there's been times I've literally stared at a spreadsheet for half an hour, maybe an hour,
Yeah.
done just off in my own world when I don't get enough sleep. And the second part is sometimes I'll just honestly kind of maybe like be hyper, but just kind of like talk kind of, I don't want to say crazy, but say say things that I'm didn't think through.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you.
So similar to Caitlin, I also get irritable, but it's like lower patience level. Like everything frustrates me throughout the day. My productivity sucks. Like Nathan was saying, I'll just take forever to do anything. And I noticed my cravings get really bad. And I looked that up the other day. So ghrelin, your hunger hormone, is heightened when you have worse sleep. And so that's been happening a lot. I'll like wake up and be like starving and want to eat everything in the
Mhm.
house.
Yeah.
So that's another one that I see.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we often say we're pretty aware of the impact that low quality of sleep has affected me too. When I used to work at Walmart, I would wake up for my shift at 6 a.m. at 18 years old, going out partying with friends, go to my shift at Walmart. And one time a guy looked at me, he's like, "You're not gonna say good morning?" It was at 7 in the morning. I just looked at him and I was like, "I'm sorry, like I'm just tired." Then he got really upset. But no, yeah, I get it. It's definitely something that we are aware of, and that's a great start. So our our let's shift to our awareness, right? So right now, what does our and we could have one or two people volunteer. What does our current nighttime routine actually look like? Or what behaviors support your sleep?
Well, I was hoping you're going to ask because actually, I think in one of at some point, maybe the first or second challenge that I was in, we kind of talked through with Michelle. And when I am, it's when I'm doing it really helps. But basically I set a time that no more work or no more messing around. I'm gonna get ready, and then that gives me enough time to relax a little bit, and then actually be in bed and whatever that time may be for sleep.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that that we've been able to support you in that way too. Um, so yeah, just doing something like you said, setting like some kind of bedtime or a general bedtime and making sure you start winding down at that time, right? So just by a show of hands, how many of us have seen like on YouTube or social media our, oh, this is my 1 hour night routine to get ready to go to sleep? Right. Yeah, right. I've seen those on YouTube. So those are good and those may be beneficial for those people, but at the same time we don't want to overcomplicate our sleep routine, right? Overcomplication creates friction. When our routines start to become too complex, too many things that we're doing for in that routine, our consistency drops. And consistency, it builds momentum, right? And that's what we want. We want to build that momentum to get into the routine of things, to get into our routine of before we sleep. So I want to introduce some simple anchors that we can start tonight. And these are some behaviors that signals to our body that it's time to wind down, it's time to go to sleep. So some are like Nathan was saying, same general bedtime window, right? Setting a certain time, giving yourself 20, 30 minutes before and after. 10-minute wind down could be through meditation, brain dump journaling, yoga, um, even having your lights dim at a certain time, dimming your lights. One that we did in one of our other challenges was 30 minutes before bed with no screens, right? So picking a certain amount of time that you have before you go to sleep with no electronics. Um, so right now, if you were to simplify your night with one anchor, what would matter most, or what feels realistic for your current capacity?
I could probably adopt the like I sometimes will set a timer just to be like, hey, you should start winding down now.
Yeah.
Caitlin, I'll tell you that doesn't always work though. I'm just like, yeah, turn off the alarm. Um, but doing that, I think probably adding something with that
Mhm.
would probably help. Um, I'm just not quite sure what I can add to it.
Okay.
I know if I like tea and caffeine, or tea in general doesn't usually calm me down.
Okay.
Like I drink caffeine, but it feels like sometimes it doesn't affect me too much.
Mhm.
It probably means I'm drinking it too much, but uh, the I guess I don't know. Besides that, that's all I have to tell myself. Like, hey, you should go to bed. Get ready.
Yeah, yeah, just like a gentle mental reminder, right? And as we were saying, this is not about perfection, and everybody's different. Everybody's gonna have at least one anchor that supports their sleep or their nightly routine. Um, Anybody else? So what's one anchor that you can start tonight or that and that feels realistic for your current capacity?
So I mentioned that we watch a show when we eat dinner, and so we have like an unofficial TV cutoff time. And so right
Mhm.
now we're watching Stranger Things, which the episodes are like an hour and a half. That's crazy. And so if it's an hour and a half, then we can only watch like half of a show, or we have to watch a shorter show or whatever. So we have like that time, and then we just make sure whatever we're watching is going to be done before that, so that we can do the rest of like our night routine and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so again, we want to think about our PCS method, right? We want to create some anchors that are practical, consistent, and sustainable. So what's in practical being like, what's one behavior that feels practical for me this week and in the future? Can I repeat this most nights? And is this something that I can see myself doing within the next 3 months that sustainable piece, right? So we are close to time. So rest is not something we earn after productivity, right? Or after we create things or after we produce. Rest is our foundation. It's what protects our capacity so that we can show up consistently for ourselves, right? And when our behaviors align with our priorities and they stay practical and consistent, it starts to become easy. So again, we don't need perfect sleep. We just need sleep that's repeatable. And so, last closing question. What's one thing that has shifted for you tonight, or one thing that you are taking with you into this week for sleep?
I'm gonna develop a habit before going to sleep.
Okay, nice. Thank you.
I guess being in the mindset of I don't need to finish every single little thing before I can allow myself to go to bed. Because saying it out loud is just like, yeah, of course, but also like, no, I'm always like, I need to do this and this and this, and I need to set this up, and then I can finish, all of that. So don't do that.
Mhm. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Last one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to be stricter with my like initial cutoff time to get ready for bed, but also I like the idea Michelle's said about cutting, like if I watch a show or whatever, making sure that time is also not too long.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. All right. Well, yeah, thank you guys for coming. This was our sleep workshop, and go ahead and pass it over to Michelle.
Awesome. Thank you. And so something that we talked a lot about in BU as well that I want to make sure that we reiterate here is Ray was talking about not making our nighttime routines too complicated. So something that we want to keep in mind too is if we can establish like one, like you said, anchor habit, and then that starts to feel normal and it flows, then you're going to be able to like stack habits on top of that later, right? And so it's really about getting that consistency first and then being able to kind of attach things to that help you feel more like grounded or regulated or whatever. She does not want to be up here. Okay, thank you so much, Ray. So just as a quick recap, we talked about this at the beginning. I'll reiterate one more time. Tomorrow is officially our last workshop for the week. We have all of our challenges still Saturday, still on Sunday, and then we'll have our award ceremony on Monday. Otherwise, thank you all so much for being here, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.